Hey, my beautiful saucies, it's your girl, the Saucy Exotical, back with another video. And today I just wanted to talk about the concept of black fatigue. Black fatigue seems to be this new discussion that's going on. I guess it's nothing new, but it's being talked about on TikTok and different forms of social media. Essentially, it's a lot of white people who are speaking up about it and who are talking about how they are tired of hearing black people call them out constantly in the workplace, to their faces, in public, in social settings, and on social media. Call them out all the time about racism. So they're tired of black people accusing them of being racist all the time. So I wanted to talk about it from an Exoticals point of view. So black fatigue, I guess, is nothing new. I guess there was a book written about it by the author Dr. Frances Winters. She's a black woman who wrote the book in 2020. It was originally supposed to describe the fatigue that black people feel from suffering from systemic racism, the trauma and the fatigue that black people experience from being subjected to racism all the time. Originally, that was the what the book was about. Now, black fatigue experienced from an Exoticals point of view is similar to what the conversation, like along the lines of what the conversation is about online, because Exoticals, we are a part of the black community, so we get looked at as if we are part of the bullshit, but a lot of the draining accusations are directed at us as well. We're getting tired of being constantly called colorists, constantly called stuck up. We're getting tired of constantly being accused of having it better in society. Well, you have this privilege or you have that privilege. You don't know about this, you don't know about that. You're not real, you're not like us, you're privileged. So Exoticals are fatigued as far as that goes. We're tired of people who accuse us of thinking that we're better, but then the same people in the same breath or in the same instance try to look like Exoticals. They go and buy the looser textured hair, they buy lighter colored makeup to make their skin complexions lighter, and yet they complain about how we think we're better and that we think that we're not like them and we can't use the same terminology they use, even though we come from the exact same community. And so it's draining in that sense. And a lot of black people are online saying they're fatigued also by the antics of Blackistan, the Blackistan portion of the black community. But don't say that you're fatigued by it and then you uplift the most degenerative sector of the community at the same time, through music, through poetry, through antics, through twerking, through the dance, through the styles, through the trends. The most degenerative part of the black community is constantly being uplifted by black people. The slang, the terminology, the confrontational attitude, the we don't take no stuff, the reputation is constantly being the reputation that blacks have pretty much wanted to be known for. The strong black woman, the strong black man trope, that's being constantly pushed and constantly being exhibited by black people in everyday behavior. If you don't get my order right, or if you don't get this right, or if you don't essentially give me what I want, I'm going to nut up on you and probably put my hands on you. That is constantly the behavior of what you see every day in Blackistan and black people. Black people want to have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't conflate violence and confrontation with respect and think that if you are scaring people or putting fear into other people, then that is going to make them respect you. That's only going to make them hate you even more. So if you want to get away from the tiresome, constant, it seems like the constant embarrassment of being known for people who like to pop off, people who are toxic, who show out in public, the constant ghetto, ratchet, degenerative behavior. If you want to get away from that, you have to change up your image and just stop uplifting that portion of your community. The worst part of the community is what is on front and center. This is what Black people have made the face of the Black community, and they've done it since the Civil Rights era. I mean, it took a long time for the reputation of Black American people to go from a respectable one to a degenerative one. The one mistake that Black people continue to make is that they want to mix cultures. They want to mix degenerative culture with everyday Black people, or the culture of everyday Black people. They want to mix trends. They want to be able to wear hip hop trends and still be seen as respectable citizens when hip hop is associated with violence and all different kinds of degeneracy. They don't want the degenerate part of that reputation to be reflected on them, but then they embrace the clothing and the trends and the swag and the style at the same time. Black people think that they can mix proper English with AAVE and think that they can get a job and they're going to be able to be relatable and communicate with people by mixing the two. And you can't. You have to choose one. You can't uplift any part of the community that is degenerative. Black people seem to want to interject their opinion in different settings, social media or otherwise, in person, to your face. It doesn't matter. When nobody asked your opinion, nobody asked you why Black men date white women. Nobody asked about interracial relationships. Nobody asked you to tell me whether or not you think I'm stuck up or not, or if you think I'm a light-skinned, privileged female, or if I care if that, the NBA is getting more and more beige. Nobody asked you if a white woman should wear braids. It's almost as if they come up with on social media or in person, and out of nowhere it'll just be like some kind of toxic conversation, hot button conversation that is brought up, and then the boldest, most outspoken person will come forward and just interject their opinion in settings like the workplace or just a party when the vibe is right, and they'll go and change up the vibe, and everybody's all quiet because nobody wants to be rude, nobody's in the mood to argue, so they just let the person who's the boldest and the loudest have the floor. That is tiring. That is exhausting. Constantly having to defend yourself, constantly having to engage in these conversations. It doesn't seem like progress is ever made. It doesn't seem like understanding is reached. I mean, there's a way to use your words and get your point across without being abusive, confrontational, and overbearing. You can speak kindly to people and vocalize your opinion in a calm tone of voice when it is appropriate, in settings when it's appropriate, when everybody's out having a good time or whatever, and you know that crowd is not really going to argue with you. It seems like a lot of people they just let that person get away with it, and then when that person feels like they can get away with it, they feel like they won or that they're right or whatever. But really, it just turns into this whole situation where nobody wants to be around you and nobody likes you. And that's where I think that this worldview of Black American culture has become personified in that statue that is in Times Square now. Some people like it, but a lot of people don't like it. With the woman who's like putting her hands on her hips and scowling. That is the collective opinion of Black American culture. Nobody wants to be associated with it. Nobody wants to be like that. Nobody wants to emulate that. It has become that bad. And so now Black Americans are basically just used as entertainment these days. People are using Black Americans and Black American women as entertainment. The antics never stop, and it's nonstop content. We're a collective joke at this point, and the Black American female image was used to make this man, the sculptor, Thomas J. Price, whatever his name is, a Black American woman's image was used to get his name out there. Prior to the statue being erected in the Times Square, nobody heard of this man. But it's easy to do it because Black people the Blackistan antics, and black people embrace Blackistan antics to a certain point, to the point where it is the face of black American people. Black people also like to throw stones and hide their hands. They want to throw out racist comments to everybody else and then play victim when they get it back. It's like the goalpost is constantly being moved all the time. Like, black people constantly do that. When somebody white is walking around in public with braids in their hair or dreadlocks in their hair, a lot of black people, particularly women, make it their business to walk up to this person and confront them about it in a very confrontational, bold, audacious way, telling them they can't have that hairstyle, they shouldn't have that hairstyle, it's your culture, this and that, all while you're rocking a, silky straight Brazilian bust down. I mean, I think it takes a lot of nerve to walk up to somebody in public and tell them what they can and cannot do with their hair when nobody can tell you what to do with your hair. Then there's also a collective confusion about the history. Black people don't want to disown Africa, and they don't know, they act like they don't know where they come from. Or one minute they're the Native Americans, the next minute they're the Jews, and the next minute they are, the Egyptians, and they're the true this and they're the true that. And there's just collective confusion. It's not as if they're tucked away in a little corner. The people that believe that, no, they speak the loudest. They're all online. They're writing books about it, and they're really on social media correcting people, telling them that there was no such thing as a slave trade, when it's well documented. There's pictures, there's graphs, there's writings, there's all kinds of flyers and things from that history, to confirm that in fact did happen. And that shit is exhausting. It's very exhausting. It's tiresome. People are tired of it. It's constantly just in your face all the time. So that is my video about black fatigue. So please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Your opinions about this topic. And I'll see you guys next time.